Bienvenidos a la Daily Hustle. Soy Enrique Byrnes y presidente es el mejor cerveza. No abate por No Filter Network. Miguelito San Dieguito, not with us today. Will the Thrill Clark, not with us this morning, but he will be with us tonight, 6 p.m. Pacific time for the latest edition of Deuces Wild. Regardless, greetings and salutations. Rawr! Ha! My wife's now downstairs laughing her ass off. So we had this conversation yesterday at the dinner table. And for whatever reason, there was a bet that was going to happen in which Colston and Colton. So Colton, my kid, Colston, his best buddy. They were going to bet $100 to go up to a girl during their ski regionals and say, greetings and salutations. Rawr! And it was going to take $100 to get one of them to do it. And I'm like, dudes, you guys have no idea. I promise you. And of course, our girls, Chloe and Callie, are sitting there. They're like, you're going to scare them off. Tara's laughing. I'm like, you guys got it all wrong. If you go up and do that, every chick in the world is going to dig you. And then immediately, you got to believe it's so stupid that they're going to laugh. And then if you're able to laugh at yourself a little bit, that'll break the ice and say, hey, I'm Colston. Hey, I'm Colton. But I did say this, that I would come on the Daily Hustle this morning and start off the show that way. So on that note, we're also sponsored by Bet Online. Speaking of bets, the number one online gambling destination for all the latest news, scores, odds, predictions. Go to Bet Online. You have the NCAA tournament firing, Sweet 16, Major League Baseball just 2 days away from the official opening day. Looking forward to that. And then, of course, you got the NBA firing, you got the NHL firing. Bet Online. Go there, type in the promo code BLEAV, capital BLEAV, for 50% off your first deposit, or at least I think so. Regardless, as you guys know, we do want to come on here as I grab my foam fingers and properly salute the greetings and salutations, as well as each and every one of you. Yes, 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 yes. Woo! Remember this, folks. When we are juiceful, we are useful. And when we are juiceless, we are fucking useless. So, a very pleasant good morning to you on this 25th day of March, 2025. Happy Apo Taco Tuesday. This morning's DH that just went out a while ago through social media, titled Praise and Criticism. Daily Hustle quote of the day. You can't let praise or criticism get to you. It's a weakness to get caught up in either one. Coach Wooden. Daily Hustle translation. In sports and life, we will all inevitably go through highs and lows. Where am I? There we go. Naturally, we will receive both praise and criticism, which is generally related to performance and results. While playing Major League Baseball, when things were going well, praise would rain down from all angles. Fans, media, coaches, other players, friends, and family would all shower the love, and I'd be lying if I said it was anything other than a pretty damn good feeling. Then, of course, when shit went wrong, fans booed, the media grew fangs, coaches seemingly panicked, and other players went silent while family and friends, many of whom never played baseball, claimed to have all the answers. After signing with the Diamondbacks in 2006, I hit 26 homers and ripped 25 bags while playing a top-notch center field. In 2007, I hit 21 homers, stole 50 bases, and helped lead Arizona to the NLCS. I was named the D-backs MVP and even received NL MVP votes. In 2008, I twinged my hamstring in a spring training game and tried to play through the pain while it eventually cost me the season. Then in 2009, when finally back at 100%, I got smoked in the hand with a pitch, shattering the bone into several pieces. My performance when on the field those 2 seasons and ability to stay healthy drew criticism from every direction and was overwhelming, to say the least. All this said, whether we are going through seasons of favor or ones that will challenge the inner depths of our soul, it's imperative to shut off the outside noise, good, bad, and ugly, and simply stay committed to doing everything in our power that will lead to inevitable improvement and growth. That's it, EB. All right, so if you think about it, all of us, right? We're going to get complimented when shit's going well, and we are subject to criticism, to people wanting to help. And that was the thing with baseball, because I didn't feel like I was slighted by fans, coaches, players, certainly not family and friends, right? A lot of that is created internally. And when you listen to just a little bit of the criticism, it then gets in your own head. And where you have all these people that actually want to see you succeed. And don't get me wrong, there are some that really uh, relish in your misery. But for the most part, those are so rare and few. Now, they're out there, and you have to understand they're out there. But they want you to succeed. So even the Diamondbacks fans that were booing me during this process of not being healthy and not performing up to my capabilities on the field, they did want me to succeed because they wanted their team to win. Same thing, obviously, with the coaches. If I'm playing well and everything's going great, that's great for the coaches because it makes the coaches look good. So, players, for the most part, every now and again, you get the one dick that just, he's the guy in your clubhouse that's going to be rooting against you. Unfortunately, it's the reality of professional sports. It happens. But players want to win too. So they want to see you have success. And the truth of the matter is, and I said in the email, and I thought about changing the wording at least, where they grow silent. And I think more than anything, look, the panic in coaches and silence of the players. The panic in the coaches is a sense of urgency. And I know that feeling as a coach myself now, because I know this player has talent. I know what he's capable of doing. So I want to see him have that success. And at the same time, right, you want to see him healthy. You want to see him having success. And then when it comes to the other players, a lot of times when another player's struggling, you only want to give so much advice. And then it's like, well, you don't want to be the guy where, even in pickleball now, right? The guy misses a shot and I'm coaching him after every fucking point going, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that. So I've been that player that, has kind of gotten a little more quiet. Now, if I've ever had anyone reach out to me about, hey, what do you see? Is there something I could be doing different? I certainly would be there to heed the advice. But overall, I think internally, we have to focus on ourselves. If we're struggling, we have to figure out what we need to do. What is it that's going to make me better? Because when I'm sitting here and listening to this outside criticism, or even outside praise for that matter, when everything's going right, oh, wow, you're the best at this and that. Like, dude, fuck that. That breeds complacency. We're only as good as our next performance. Feel the air pass through our nostrils. Let's stay in the moment, as Kowalski would tell us. By the way, it looks like there's a new Mindbender podcast up on No Filter Network, so go ahead and check that out. But I think ultimately, what's our goal? that would be to optimize our performance, optimize our talent, our abilities. In order to do that, the noise is always going to be there one way or another. It's there. And when I say completely shut it out, that's bullshit too, because you're going to hear it. The only thing I can say is that let's be humble and let's be grateful that people care enough that they're going to praise us, and also they care enough that they're going to criticize us. But once it's like, oh, here and here, like we expect this, let's stay here. We know this is going to be here, but we are going to stay right in the fucking middle, and we're going to control our emotions. And that ultimately is going to put us in the absolute best position to succeed. So, all right, here we go with today's Daily Hustle. Look, I was ripping around a bunch of different articles, and certainly we're going to get into a lot of the season preview and whatnot with Thrill tonight. But I will say this. We have an article here ranking the opening day lineups. All 30 MLB teams, opening day lineups. Dodgers, Braves lead the way. The Rangers power up. So I'm going to go over these opening day lineups pretty briefly here, actually. And we're going to get in depth more with Thrill. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go over the season win totals of these teams and see if there's any discrepancies along the way. All right, when it comes to opening day lineups, of course, as you guys know, we like to go 30 to 1. Oh, this is terrible. I don't know why the Chicago White Sox have become the whipping child of the Daily Hustle. I want to apologize to Chicago. Please take it sincere. Right field is fine. I actually played into Thrill's criticism of right field, old Comiskey, whatever, last week, just for the effect. I really enjoy the city. I enjoy the south side of Chicago. I even hiked back to the hotel one day after a rough game I had there in Seattle late in my career. But their lineup, I don't make these rankings, folks. Number 30. Oh, fuck. Here they are. At the bottom, it says the White Sox have the worst lineup in the American League. It's only going to get worse when they trade their best hitter, center fielder Luis Robert Jr., between now and the trade deadline. Chicago is hoping that first baseman Andrew Vaughn is better than last year, 246 average, 19 homers. I mean, look, that's one of my favorite players in Major League Baseball. I probably root for him as much as I root for everybody else. I love Andrew Vaughn. And I consider Andrew Vaughn a good friend, right? This is a guy that I've followed since Cal. We're not BFFs by any means, but I would certainly communicate with him. Like, good dude. He's on the White Sox, and if I come on here, we bury them way too often. So I apologize. I didn't realize you guys were going to be ranked last again. At 246 with 19, that's nothing to slouch about. And they're saying Andrew Benintendi, hopefully he can repeat his 20-homer season from a year ago, but the rest of the lineup is basically filled with role players who are serving as placeholders until the farm system can produce better major leaguers. Marlins are at 29. This is interesting. The Marlins have the worst lineup in the National League. The best part of their offense is the left side of the infield shortstop, Xavier Edwards, who hit 328 with 31 steals last year. Holy shit. And third baseman Connor Norby, who's learning a new position and is ready to contribute at the plate, though he just picked up an oblique injury. The lineup has athleticism and power, but not enough hit tool overall to be competitive. You have the Pirates in here. You do have emerging superstar O'Neal Cruz, who should be able to improve on his 21 homer, 22 stolen base campaign. The Cardinals, it says DH Alex Burleson was the only Cardinal with 20 or more home runs last year. Holy shit. 26, the Rockies. I mean, they still got to be dangerous in that ballpark, though, right? The Rockies' offense is led by the speed power combination of center fielder Brenton Doyle. He hit 23 and stole 30 last season. And shortstop Ezekiel Tovar, who added 26 homers and a league leading 45 doubles. So they're ranked 26, 25 the Tampa Bay Rays. The Rays lineup is led by the right side of their infield, first baseman Yandy Diaz and second baseman Brandon Lowe. But we should be interested, or it should be interesting to see how they end up doing playing in George Steinbrenner Field, right? The AAA complex. Read a whole article about the Rays this morning. Some real infighting between the city of St. Pete as well as the Rays ownership group. 24, the Tigers. That might be a little low for them. The Tigers improved their offense on the right side of the infield, signing Yankee Gleyber Torres to play second base and moving Colt Keith from second to first. The Tigers' offense is led by Riley Green and right fielder Kerry Carpenter. Detroit tried to land third baseman Alex Bregman, of course, but that did not happen. I think Detroit's can be competitive. 23 here, awfully low on the list, and we'll ask Thrill about this tonight. The San Francisco Giants. The Giants dipped into free agency this offseason, landing their long-term solution at shortstop, Willy Adames. Hit 32 homers, stole 21 bases from Milwaukee last year. Now, if he hits 30 in San Francisco, it's going to be the first Giant to do that since Barry Bonds. The rest of the Giants' power will come from third baseman Matt Chapman. He hit 27 last year. And then Heliot Ramos, who, of course, added 22. The key for this offense will be center fielder Jung-Hoo Lee, it says, whom San Francisco has expectation for after he missed just about all of last season with a shoulder injury. 22, you got the Angels. Mike Trout is back. First baseman Nolan Schanuel, is that how you say his name? Supplies the on-base percentage, but minimal power. Left fielder Taylor Ward had a 111 OPS plus. Second baseman Luis Renfroe, 116 OPS plus. So, I don't see the Angels doing much again this year, although I'm rooting for them. I love Ron Washington. 21, the Seattle Mariners. The Mariners led the AL in strikeouts last year and didn't make any offseason additions to improve that area of their offense outside of the coaching staff. Edgar Martinez, who served as the interim hitting coach at the end of last season, is now the senior director of hitting strategy, and Kevin Seitzer joined the staff as the new hitting coach after 10 years with Atlanta. The Mariners' offense is led by center fielder Julio Rodriguez, J-Rod, who's coming off a subpar year but has a potential to be an MVP. Okay, look, I worked with Kevin Seitzer in Arizona. He came in 2007 as a hitting coach, and he was one of the very best hitting coaches I ever worked with in my entire career. My first half of 2007, lights out. Tummy tight, strong core, tension-free barrel release, Oppo tacos all fucking day. He opened up the entire right side of the field for me. We went from being just a dead pool mentality to everything. I literally shifted it to the right field line just to be able to dominate that right center field gap. Seitzer was fucking awesome. Really enjoyed working with him. Actually even worked with him after they fired him halfway through. I think it was the 2007 season. It was just stupid. But kudos. He then went to Atlanta and became just sort of a legend out there, as they had all those great Braves teams that had a ton of success offensively. 20 Athletics here on the list. The A's are led by Brent Rooker, of course, 39 homers. I mean, fuck, to do that in the Coliseum. He stole 11. And then, of course, Lawrence Butler. He signed both those guys to long-term contracts. Butler had 22 homers and 18 steals last season. Look out for Langoliers, the catcher, and J.J. Bleday. Washington Nationals. Of course, you got C.J. Abrams over there. That says the key to the Nationals lineup is on the outfield corners. Left fielder James Woods' loud bat has been compared to that of Darryl Strawberry. Have you seen this guy? He's a beast. Right fielder Dylan Cruz, of course, from LSU, is the pick for, or one of the leading picks for the NL Rookie of the Year. The Nats should be pretty good. I'm not sure if I put their offense that high. 18, the Reds. I mean, just based on Ellie De La Cruz. Simple as that. Last year, he hit 25 and topped the NL with 67 stolen bases. Holy shit. They have Matt McClain, UCLA guy. What's up, Matty? Back to play second base. The Reds are going to be good. I really think the Reds could do some damage this year. Cleveland Guardians are at 17. Of course, you got Jose Ramirez, and then whoever you can put in with him after that. He's coming off a season of 39 home runs and 41 stolen bases. What the fuck, man? Jose Ramirez has got to be one of the biggest undercover superstars. You got the Cubs, who added Kyle Tucker at 16. You got the Twins. I mean, if they could stay healthy, you got Carlos Correa, Royce Lewis, and Byron Buxton. Royce Lewis might be one of the most talented players in the big leagues. Of course, a former number 1 overall pick. When he's healthy, he is just filthy. Toronto Blue Jays. This is pretty high. Wow. Well, you got Santander that they signed from the O's. We're all going all offense right now. Bringing it down to number 1, Santander. And then it says he'll slot in between Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Bo Bichette in that lineup. That's a good one. Is it a great one? I don't know. 13 is the Kansas City Royals. I mean, as soon as you say Bobby Witt Jr., I mean, let's just start there. That's going to get you in the upper half. One of the most productive offensive players in baseball. And this says, in addition, don't be surprised if the Royals' first-round draft pick, Jack Caglione, arrives in late May or early June to play one of the corner outfield spots. Yeah, he is next level. The kid from University of Florida. I remember doing a video on him a couple years ago. Just an absolute fucking stud. Royals could be, don't forget, that was a playoff team. They could be certainly doing some damage offensively. 12 Houston Astros offseason losses of Bregman and Kyle Tucker are significant. However, the Astros did an excellent job of replacing them. First baseman Christian Walker, third baseman Isaac Paredes, and center fielder Cam Smith. Yeah, look out for Cam Smith. Walker and Paredes should be able to combine for 50 homers. Smith, who might make the team out of spring training, could become a Rookie of the Year candidate. Of course, Smith, I think like the 4th or 5th pick overall from Florida State just a year ago. Number 11, the New York Yankees. Losing Soto was certainly a big deal, but they did sign Cody Bellinger and Paul Goldschmidt. So it kind of depends on how Bellinger and Goldschmidt do, right? I mean, if you have vintage Cody Bellinger, vintage Paul Goldschmidt, vintage Aaron Judge, and then you add in Jazz Chisholm and Volpe and Jason Dominguez, yeah, they certainly could be a force offensively. Number 10, you got the Baltimore Orioles. You got Adley Rutschman, Jackson Holiday. It'll be interesting to see how he does this season. Gunnar Henderson's a fucking stud. We know how he's going to do. Then you got Colton Cowser. Yeah. I mean, look, they're at number 10. If these guys develop the way people think they can, they could end up being number 1. The Brewers at number 9. I mean, that's aggressive, isn't it? You lose Willie Adames. The lineup will be led by Jackson Chourio, who, of course, young stud, 20, 21 years old. He had 21 and stole 22 last year. Wilson Contreras was the best offensive catcher in the game last year with an 831 OPS, 23 homers, 92 RBIs. You got first baseman Rhys Hoskins, who hit 26. I don't know. I mean, it says Christian Yelich coming off the back injury. I'm just not sold on the Brewers. I think that's way too high for them. The Red Sox at number 8. This is a team that I believe is going to run away with the American League East. That's an aggressive statement. And I don't know if run away is the right word. Because, of course, you have the Yankees and you have the fucking Baltimore Orioles. But I would put them right now as the favorite in the AL East. We'll see what the OU predictions think. Bregman signing is big. The Red Sox are led, of course, by Rafael Devers, who moves from third to DH for Bregman. And all-star left fielder Jarren Duran, who last year led the majors in doubles and triples while hitting 21 homers and stealing 34 bags. Yeah, Duran's a lot better than people believe. Center fielder Ceddanne Rafaela and first baseman Tristan Casas, both 25 years old, prime for breakout years. He says even more excited for Sox fans, the talented trio on the verge. Outfielder Roman Anthony, top prospect for a long time. Shortstop Marcelo Mayer and second baseman Kristen Campbell are all three of the best prospects in baseball, and all three are expected to make their debut at some point this season. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. It sounds like a lot of ifs in that Red Sox lineup. I was probably a little too bullish on them. San Diego's at number 7. They lose shortstop Ha-Seong Kim and Jurickson Profar to free agency. But they do have, of course, Fernando Tatis Jr., Manny Machado, Jackson Merrill. I mean, that's enough said right there. That gets you in the top 10. Philadelphia Phillies, they finished 5th in the majors in runs scored last year. And it's Bryce Harper, it's Kyle Schwarber. They have several hitters with a solid balance of power and speed. Trey Turner, 21 homers, 19 stolen bases. Bryson Stott had 11 homers, 32 steals. Brandon Morris, 16 homers, 19 steals. And it does say here, age and decline may be areas of concern for catcher JT Realmuto and right fielder Nick Castellanos, but both should be productive enough. That's an elite offense. How about the Diamondbacks at number 5? So the Diamondbacks led the majors in runs scored and on-base percentage last season. Holy shit, really? They've brought back most of the lineup outside of Christian Walker, who signed with the Astros. We talked about him earlier. D-backs front office did an excellent job of pivoting to replace Walker's production. His 26 homers, 84 RBIs is what he had last year. He traded for Josh Naylor. Yeah, this former Cleveland Indian. He had 31 and had 108 with Cleveland. So that certainly makes up for that. The Diamondbacks should get more consistent production from star right fielder Corbin Carroll. That is the fucking truth. He got off to a really slow start last season. Second baseman Ketel Marte was their best hitter, start to finish. Is a well-rounded lineup, has power, it has speed, and it knows how to move the chains. Look out for 22-year-old rookie Jordan Lawler to make an impact in the second half of the season if he gets that opportunity. Number 4, the Mets. Well, you had Juan Soto. Absolutely. The $765 million superstar to that lineup, the top half of the Mets lineup. Ready for this? Francisco Lindor finished second in NL MVP, was a stolen base shy of a 30-30 season. Soto, career .421 on base percentage. Alonso, who it's clockwork, 35 to 40 homers every single year. Mark Vientos, 27 bombs last year. And Francisco Alvarez will start the year in the IL with a broken hamate bone, but he has 25 to 30 homer potential. 3 is the Rangers. Let's see here. You got center fielder Evan Carter and third baseman Josh Jung, who missed most of last season with injuries. They're back. Adolis Garcia had a down year last season, as did Marcus Semien. So if they're able to rebound from that, the Rangers front office wanted to add slugs, so it traded for Jake Berger. It signed Jock Peterson. This is deep. This is a deep lineup with, of course, Wyatt Langford in there. You got Corey Seager, who is one of the best offensive shortstops in all of baseball. All right, number 2 is the Braves. Their team OPS fell from 845 in 23 to 724 in 24. What? They had a team OPS? I don't even believe this. It says the Braves 2024 offense was hampered by injuries and subpar performances for most of the year. Their team OPS fell from 845 in 23 to 724 24. I mean, 845, that's just fucking absurd. Huh. Of course, you had Ronald Acuna Jr., who blew out. You had Marcell Ozuna, was the only hitter to produce up to his accustomed level. He hit 39 and drove in 104. However, when healthy and play their potential, the Braves have as good an offense as anybody. So they should be back and firing. And then lastly here, numero uno, the number 1 offense in all of baseball, to nobody's surprise, the Los Angeles Dodgers. The world champion Dodgers are fucking stacked. There's no other way to put it. You got former MVP, NL MVP, best player in the world, Shohei Ohtani. You got fucking Mookie Betts. You got Freddie Freeman. You got Tommy Edman. You got Enrique Kike Hernandez. You got Conforto. You got Teoscar Hernandez. It just keeps going. It does not stop. They have power. They have speed. They have depth. That is obviously why they are number 1. So there are your top offenses in baseball. It took way longer than I thought it was going to take. So we are going to save the OU win totals for tonight for Will the Thrill Clark, as we will run down the 30 teams and go over their chances of going above or below what is projected in Las Vegas. I will tell you guys, though, the sneak peek of this one, the Los Angeles Dodgers. Over. Over. I've said this before on the Daily Hustle. I'll say it fucking again. Cha-ching. And the whole thing is, well, what if they don't stay healthy? What if this happens with that? Nah. So long as these games are played, they will go over their total, which is a minuscule 103.5. So, all right, we'll see everybody tonight. Deuces Wild, 6:05 p.m. Pacific time. Join the chat. Tell a friend. John Davis. We always love you joining here in the mornings. All right. That's about it. Everyone have a great day.